Finding Asia's finest fried chicken. Fun Friday night food usually doesn't get much better than a box of fried chicken. Meaty, crispy, and always tasty, this worldwide fast food favorite is hard to beat. Of course, it's a dish often associated with the American brand KFC. However, that's not to say that this is the only way to prepare and enjoy fried chicken. For some examples of delicious variations, look no further than Japanese karaage, Taiwanese jipai and yensuji, and South Korean yangnyeom chicken. The first stop on our Far Eastern fried chicken tour is Japan. In this part of the world, the key to success is marinating. To marinate usually means to soak something in a special sauce before cooking it. By covering their chicken in soy sauce, mirin, Japanese rice wine, and spice mixtures for at least 30 minutes, Japanese cooks make sure their chicken is far softer before frying. This makes the meat inside juicy, which goes well with the crispy, thin batter on the outside. Japanese karaage, which is popularly enjoyed with salt, lemon juice, and perhaps a glass of beer, is a fried chicken you shouldn't miss.
Hi everyone, welcome to the show. I'm Tiffany.
I'm Jacqueline.
And today we're going to be talking about some fun things you do during Friday night. And I just want to ask before that, what is your Friday night usually like?
It really depends. Like if I don't have work, I usually just relax, take a hot bath, drink hot chocolate, and just relax in bed.
Do you watch any TV shows?
I do.
Do you have any snacks?
Yes, chips. I love chips.
Yes. So of course, usually a Friday night, we want to relax. We want to do things that we don't normally do. So like for me, I usually, wind down by watching movies or TV shows, and I definitely have snacks. And I love this type of snack too, fried foods.
Oh my goodness,
it's so bad for you, but then it's so good. And that's what we're going to be talking about today in today's article.
Food.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about more specifically fried chicken. Even better,
My
right?
favorite.
I know, right? Let's take a look at today's article. It says, fun Friday night food usually doesn't get much better than a box of fried chicken. I totally agree with this.
Hungry.
Right?
Okay. 所以周五晚上的美味食物呢，通常没什么比一盒炸鸡更好吃。Last time I had fried chicken was like 2 years ago.
Wow, that's too long. No.
Yeah. 所以我 even if I go to KFC,
Yeah.
I just watch people eat.
No.
I only have the egg tarts.
No.
Cool. 但今天没关系，这个 article can satisfy my craving.
Yeah.
Yeah. 所以呢，我们在这边看到今天的文法 ，Let's take a look. 我们今天的 language and focus 要讲的是程度副词跟比较级的用法。所以我们可以在呢比较级的前方加上程度副词，像是 much, even, a bit, a lot, a little 或者是 far， 来强调句子中形容词或另一个副词的程度哦。常见的程度副词呢，我们会有 much, far, a lot， 我们刚刚有提到，或 even， 甚至 a little, a bit, slightly， 有一些。那我们在文章中看到的句子是不是有看到说 Fun Friday night food usually doesn't get much better？ 这个 much better 我们用 much 来修饰副词比较级 better 代表好得多。那我们看另外一个句子哦 Tom studies a bit harder than his classmate。 所以我们这边呢这个 a bit harder 就是比较他的同班同学是比较认真一点点。那么程度副词 very 呢，我们会用来修饰原级哦，是不可以修饰比较级的。我们来比较一下下面两个句子。The first one, Sarah is very good at cooking。或者是说呢，你要比较的话，就要变成 Sarah is much better at cooking than her brother。
All right, the article then says meaty, crispy, and always tasty. This worldwide fast food favorite is hard to beat. I agree with this sentence as well. Here they say that we use the word crispy. It's an adjective and it's used to describe something that has a nice crunch or has a nice crisp sound. So like biting into an apple, eating chips or fried foods, they often have this crispy texture. Okay? For example, we can say, eat the fries while it is nice and hot. It's crispy and tastes really good.
So crispy 就是很酥脆的，我们常常说外皮酥脆的炸鸡。比如说 the fried chicken was crispy on the outside， 或我们老师刚刚讲到的 texture 就是质感，这些比较脆的质感，就是像薯条嘛，然后苹果，比如像 the fries have a crispy texture that everyone loves。那我们看两个比较常见的句子 ，I love a crispy crust on my pizza，或者是说 these chips are so crispy。I can't stop eating them.
I know, that's why it's so hard to put down those bag of chips.
I know, I can't stop.
I know, I can't stop either. We also use the word tasty to describe fried chicken. Tasty is also an adjective, and it means to have a strong and pleasant taste when eaten. And it just basically means that something tastes good. For example, Thai food is tasty to me. It tastes good to me. Okay? We can also use tasty in a sentence like this. I'm always excited to come home from school and see what tasty snacks my mom prepared for me.
So tasty 就是很美味的意思哦。有没有发现它长得跟 taste 这个动词名词很像呢？因为它就是跟吃东西有关。我们可以说 The pasta was so tasty, I had to ask for the recipe. 那我们常说美味的点心tasty treat. 比如说 This chocolate cake is a tasty treat that everyone enjoys. 好，我们看另外两个句子。That was a really tasty meal. 或者是说 Do you have any tasty snacks?
And then here we use the phrase to be hard to beat, or hard to beat just means something that is difficult to match or surpass and requires a lot of effort. So for example, do you guys know Michael Jackson? Yeah, of course we do. Michael Jackson is one of the best or the most famous artists of all time. His Super Bowl performance is hard to beat.
Right.
First of all, there's no one like him, and he helped draw in lots of viewers to the game.
Right. 所以什么东西 hard to beat? 这个 beat 本来就是有打败击败的意思，所以代表说很难去击败嘛，所以它就是一个非常好的意思。所以多汁酥脆又香又好吃，这个全球人士都爱的素食真的是无可挑剔。
Definitely. Here it says, of course, it's a dish often associated with the American brand KFC. Associate here is a verb, and it means to make a connection between two people or things in your mind. Usually when we talk about fried chicken, we often think of KFC. That means our brain associates fried chicken with that brand. So we think, that's the brand for fried chicken. Or for example, for me, when I smell lemons, I associate it with summer. We can also use it in a sentence like this. When you think of vampires, you often associate Dracula and vampires together.
Associate 就是把什么东西联系在一起，所以我们常常说把两个东西连接在一起，可以说什么东西 is associated with 第二个东西。比如说 her name is closely associated with the world of fashion， 或者是说呢 I always associate the smell of fresh bread with my grandmother's kitchen， 就闻到这个面包的香味就会想到阿嬷的厨房。或者是我们常会说 I associate summer with beach vacations， 或者是说 What do you associate with this color？ 你看到这个颜色你会想到什么？所以大家讲到炸鸡就会想到肯德基，对吧？是个美国的品牌。
That's right. It says, however, that's not to say that this is the only way to prepare and enjoy fried chicken. Okay, so that's not to say that this phrase is just used to make sure that the person you're talking to does not think that something is, does not think something that is not true. So it's just to say that, okay, yes, KFC is a way to enjoy fried chicken, but there's more ways to do that.
So that's not to say 就是并不表示，所以并不代表炸鸡只有美式的做法哦。
Yeah, let's take a look at some delicious examples. It says here, for some examples of delicious variations, look no further than Japanese karaage, Taiwanese ji pie, and yesuji, and South Korean yangnyeom chicken. Yeah, so a variation is a thing that is different from other things in a general group. Yeah, all of these I've had. Yum.
I know. 所以这个 variation 就是变化跟变异的意思哦。
Here we also saw the phrase look no further. This phrase just means don't look anymore.
Look no further， 因为 further 就是比更远、更多，所以就不用再找了。就是这一个暗指呢，你在讲的那个东西就是最好的选择了。所以我们刚刚有讲到什么？日本的唐扬鸡啦，台湾的鸡排跟盐酥鸡，跟韩国的洋酿炸鸡都是非常好吃的变化版。
Here, the article then says, the first stop on our Far Eastern fried chicken tour is Japan. Okay, so here we see the word tour. It's a noun and it means a journey made for pleasure during which several towns, countries, etc. are visited. In this sentence, we don't physically have to be there traveling to Japan or South Korea. We can pretend and imagine as well. So yeah, sometimes also when you visit a city, you can also join things like food tours. So you can walk around and like taste different types of local food. You can also do walking tours to learn about the history. You can even do a bike tour where you ride bikes and do the same, learn about the city or learn about the history of the city. Here we can use tour like this. When I was young, I took a tour of Europe and visited several countries there.
Tour 就是旅行或旅游的意思。比如说，你有要去旅游吗？ Are you going on a tour this summer? 或者是 We're planning a tour of Europe next year. 所以我们今天远东假期之旅的第一站是日本。
Here it says, in this part of the world, the key to success is marinating. Okay, to marinate usually means to soak something in a special sauce before cooking it. Okay, so we learned marinating is just to let something soak in a sauce. Soak just means to put something in a liquid completely so that it becomes wet and it can take everything in like a sponge. So the meat is kind of taking all the flavors of the sauce in.
Marinate 就是很去腌制，你用调味汁浸泡它。那我们有 soak， 它就是也是浸泡到这个酱汁里面的意思。
By covering their chicken in soy sauce, mirin, Japanese rice wine, and spice mixture for at least 30 minutes. Japanese cooks make sure their chicken is far softer before frying. Let's take a look at some of the ingredients that Japanese cooks use to make this karaage. So they use soy sauce, which is a strong-tasting dark brown liquid made from fermented soya beans, and we usually use it in a lot of Chinese and Japanese cooking. We use soy sauce when we eat dumplings, and we use it in a lot of other things as well. Next, they use another ingredient called mirin. Basically sweet rice wine, okay? Then they take this mixture, okay? Mixture is a noun, and it is a combination of different things. For example, if you bake a cake, you need to put ingredients like flour, eggs, and sugar together. Once you mix that up, we can call that a mixture. For example, we can say, this drink is a mixture of apple juice, grape juice, and strawberry juice.
OK， 我们今天第一个单字 mixture， 这个就是混合物。那我们的sauce 本来就是酱汁，所以 soy sauce 就是酱油啊。那我们刚刚有看到另外一个字 mirin， 这个字是味淋的意思，所以它会混合在一起去腌制这个炸鸡。所以比如说 the cake was a delicious mixture of chocolate and vanilla flavors。或 a mixture of something 就是什么东西的结合，一种混合。The crowd was a mixture of locals and tourists. 那我们看两个句子。This is a perfect mixture of sweet and salty. 或者是说 the mixture of spices made the dish very flavorful.
Here we say make sure. This phrase just means to take special care to do something. Like for example, if your mom, she asks you to do something, she might add, make sure to wash the dishes after dinner. It means pay attention to that and make sure you really do that thing.
Make sure to do something. Make sure 就是去确认、确保。所以腌制就是他们在烹煮之前呢，会把这个食物浸泡在特制的酱料里哦。那日本的厨师通常会就是放在这个酱油、米酒、味淋跟香料混合物中腌制至少30分钟，这样子鸡肉在炸之前就会更加的嫩滑。
Sounds tasty already. Here, the article then says, this makes the meat inside juicy, which goes well with the crispy, thin batter on the outside, right? So here we use the word juicy. It's an adjective and it means to contain a lot of juice, and it means that it's usually good to eat. So for example, fruits like a peach or a pear are juicy. Okay, for example, we can say, the way Chef An cooked the meat made it so tender and juicy. Yummy. Okay, we also mentioned the word batter, which is basically it's a mixture of flour, eggs, and milk or another liquid, and it's used to make pancakes, or sometimes we use it to cover food before frying it. So if you have something like fried chicken or fried pork, usually we make a batter and we put it with like maybe breadcrumbs or anything kind of with like a thing like a flour on the outside to make it kind of that crunchy, crispy taste. Yeah.
所以 juicy 就是很多汁的意思哦。那它的形容词，它就是一个形容词。比如说 the steak was so juicy that the juices dripped with every bite， 代表这个牛排很多汁。你也可以拿来形容水果。I love eating juicy watermelon on a hot day。好，我们看两个句子比较常见的，比如说 this orange is really juicy。或者是说汉堡也可以有那个你讲那个 patty 很好，很多汁。The burger is so juicy, it's falling apart.
Yum.
那我们看 batter， 它是面糊，所以成功的关键就是在于腌制这个做法，它可以让鸡肉的内部变得很多汁，而且外层薄脆的面衣呢，搭配起来就超好吃的。
Yeah, no wonder I always feel like, it's always like so tender.
Yeah.
That's what they did. They marinated it first with this great sauce. Go with something just means to accompany or pair it with something. So for example, if we talk about clothes, we could say gray goes well with a lot of colors since it's a neutral color. Or if we want to talk about food, we could say red wine goes well with cheese.
Go with something 就是搭配什么，我们可以说黑色配什么都好看。Black goes with everything 之类的。
Yeah, I agree. Next, the article then says Japanese karage, which is popularly enjoyed with salt, lemon juice, and perhaps a glass of beer, is a fried chicken you shouldn't miss. Yes, definitely. So besides that, we could say Japanese karage goes well with a glass of beer. I agree.
I know.
But only if you're over age. You have to be over the legal
21,
drinking age.
18.
Yeah.
所以日式唐扬鸡呢，通常是搭配什么盐啊、柠檬汁，然后还可以配上啤酒。但大家要到那个法定年龄才可以喝哦，不要偷喝，绝对是不能错过的美味炸鸡唐扬鸡。
I love it.
所以喜欢今天的节目吗？赶快来给我们按赞、追踪 YouTube 频道跟 Facebook page， 不要忘记开启小铃铛，掌握第一手的英文学习内容。
Word families.
Do you want to play a game with me?
Sure, what is it?
Okay, do you remember the story of Snow White?
Yes.
Okay, do you remember the names of the little men?
Not all of them.
Okay, don't worry. I'll teach you a quick and easy way to remember some of their names.
Okay.
For example, there's one that likes to sleep.
The sleep guy?
Yeah.
Dozer?
No.
Sleeper?
No.
Sleeper.
No. Try adding a Y at the end of sleep.
Sleepy.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, so that's one guy. There's another one that likes to sneeze
I
a
know
lot.
this one, it's sneezy.
Yeah,
I know
that's
him.
right.
所以字尾加 y 加在名词后面就会变形容詞，代表充滿什麼樣的特質 ？Like the word that we talked about, juice, juicy, and crisp,
exactly.
crispy.
That's right. But you know, all this talk about fried chicken is actually making me feel a sense of hunger. What's that word?
Hungry.
Yeah.
You're hungry me too. Let's go grab a quick snack right now.
Yes, okay. I want to eat the karage after, we were talking
After
about
this?
No,
Okay, sure.
Right? They're talking about
Can I
karage.
get a beer? 不可以喝酒，只有我。
Vocabulary Review. Crispy. The fried chicken has a crispy skin. It's really delicious. Tasty. That restaurant was so good. The spaghetti was one of the tastiest dishes I've ever had. Associate. Associate. The colors red and green are often associated with Christmas. Tour. The family went on a tour of Europe, visiting famous cities like Paris, Rome, and London. Mixture. This drink is a mixture of juices from several kinds of fruits and vegetables. Juicy. Barry was hungry and had worked hard all day, so he decided to order a big juicy steak for dinner.
智慧小补帖。
Variation. Marinate. Soak. Soy sauce. Mirin. Batter.